What up? What up? All right, I'll post the link. Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here. Sorry, I was just doing some shit. All right, yeah, I just posted the comment. So StreamYard link is here, you guys. If anyone wants to come on, you're welcome to come on.
Can you hear me? Hello?
What up? What up? I can't hear you at all, bro. There, I think I can hear you now.
Well, just give me a minute.
All right. Rodney's getting his audio ready, you guys. So just gotta wait on that. Okay, he just left. See, this is the problem when you switch streams and stuff like that, but it's all right. We'll get it building again, man. It's the momentum. Though I usually can build a decent momentum, but I'm just gonna wait for. Oh, there's Rodney.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right, cool. Sorry, my AirPods, I think they're at like the point of no return. I can hear stuff, but people can't ever hear me.
Dude, I have AirPods too, man. And you know what I hate about them is because I fall asleep listening to them every night. I always freaking lose one of the earpods. Like,
do you have the Pro or the regular? I have the Pro, but they're almost 2 years old. 2 years old.
Yeah, these ones are older. They're like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah. I mean, they still sound pretty good, but like people cannot hear me. So
yeah, the audio isn't very like. I tried using the audio on my AirPods and they're not that good. What up, Sage?
So do you want me to wait to tell you about this till a couple more people get in here?
No, you can go ahead, bro. You'll be surprised how quick people come in.
All right. So at any point, if you can't hear me, because I'm at work on a job site, just like walking around.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm like a supervisor of some sort. But
that's what's up. What kind of trade are you in?
Oh, excavation work.
Oh, nice.
So we
nice.
do like I had my own business. I actually worked for myself for like 7 years. And
that's what's up.
Yeah, then I partnered with my buddy. No like drug related stuff. Just didn't work out. So long story short, I'm working for somebody now, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do like all types of pipe work. Mainly like moving, like grading, moving dirt and like pipe work. But we have like the company I work for is like there's like 150 guys. They have like 100 pieces of heavy equipment. It's a big fucking company.
Yeah, man. I've always considered getting into that because like I've done landscaping up here in Minnesota since I was 18, and like I have so much experience with like skid loaders and excavators and shit like that. Like I've been doing that shit for 10 years and I don't know, I'm thinking about joining a union possibly or something or
Yeah, I mean, around here unions aren't big where I live, but
where you live?
I live in Delaware.
It's Delaware, like, okay.
Just south of like Philadelphia.
I had one of my best buds from Florida. He was from Delaware. His name was David Penn. You know David Penn?
David Penn. Sounds familiar. Is he a younger kid? Or
I mean, define younger.
Like
he's probably like in his late 20s.
It sounds really familiar, dude.
Well, when I was in Florida, I was like in my mid-20s, mid to mid-20s.
I know who you're talking about. Does he like have short dark hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know probably before
because Delaware is such a small state.
It is.
Well,
it's not that small, but yeah, it's small. I think I know who you're talking about. I'm pretty sure I haven't been in active like opiate addiction since like 2013. I'll give you a quick background on like my story. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I know who he is, and I'm pretty sure he was friends with.
He's a barber.
If it is who I think it is, I haven't seen the kid in literally 10 years. So,
well, yeah, that's because he moved to Florida. But anyway,
probably then, 2013.
We got some people in the chat. So yeah, give us a little background on your story, and then kind of go into that whole Naltrexone thing.
Okay, so yeah, I'm 32 now. I started, normal.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I saw that before. So I graduated high school in 2008. I went to college for a little bit, and then I went away to like school in Mississippi. That's where I wanted to go originally. Wasn't a fan, and so I came back and then went to University of Delaware, and we lived down in this like beach town in the summer of 2009. So that was like the first time. I always like drank a ton, smoked weed. I've never really been into weed. Always like weed and stuff like that. Never smoked it, but always loved drugs. Like any drug, except for hallucinogens. Loved Xanax. Loved Coke.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That sounds kind of similar to me.
Yep. So when I got back, it was like within a couple months, it seemed like everybody was on fucking perks, like perk 30s, right? That's what everyone was doing.
Like the real ones.
Yes. This is in 2010 going into 2011. They were like $20 a pop at the time. Right?
Oxys were probably the OPs probably just were created, or the OCs were discontinued right around.
Correct. Because I remember, right. So the summer of 2009, we lived in there's a beach town in Delaware called Dewey Beach. It's like a party town. So kids of all ages from like their senior week, that's where people go from Delaware, right? So you have kids from like 18 to like in their 30s, but like people rent houses for the whole summer, right? And people bartend. We weren't even going to bars, but there's like 10 or 15 houses with like 10 to 20 kids who each have house parties every night. So it's where everybody wants to be. Well, one of my roommates was selling perks at the time. It's like 10 kids that are 18, 19 years old. It's like fucking nuts. Girls everywhere. You know what I mean? Drugs. But I didn't know what they were. So he would, and we were all making tons of money. But I would see kids like coming over, banging on the door like 9 a.m, like, yo, where's R at? I'm not using real names, and I'm like, yo, why do these dudes look all fucking like strung out? Like, what the fuck is their problem? I had no clue about addiction, obviously.
Yeah.
So when I don't know about everybody else, but like when you hear about like the older kids that in hindsight you realize were strung out, then it makes sense why they were robbing people, why they looked shady, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, I tried them that summer. Maybe for a month or two, I would like do one, maybe two in a 24-hour period. When I was like drunk as fuck, I'd sniff a perk, right? I had no clue. I just know they made me feel good, right? And I'd usually throw up when I sniffed it. I'd be drunk. So anyway, fast forward 2 years. They're popular. Within 6 months, I was doing them every day. And was making a ton of money selling weed for me at the time. Like, of course, it didn't last long. It never does. But for maybe like maximum 2 years was making like $5,000 a week, maximum of 2 years. Right.
Yeah.
If that, you know what I mean? So, cause everyone starts ratting on people rob each other.
That's a decent stretch in the game though. If you can make it 2 years, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Mainly cause like one of my good friends, they were so paranoid. They were like, give me a cut and I'll just like let you sell to the people I was selling to. So, but like I said, next thing you know, everyone's strung out who sold weed because everyone was doing perks. And, usually drug dealers have drug problems. Not all of them, but the majority in my experience. They do.
Definitely.
What I mean? So anyway, this is 2011. Next thing you know, and I had to me at the time unlimited money. I was in college. I had barely any expenses. I paid my rent at school. My tuition in state was next to nothing. So like I didn't ask my parents for anything ever. That way they could never ask what I was up to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thing. Well, so let's just say I started January 2011. Yes, I had dabbled before that.
But you truly start, you got like a physical habit.
In the summer of 2011. I'm saying I started dabbling January 2011. By June, I was daily user. Didn't realize it, but if I didn't do them, I'd get sick. But I never did not do them. So,
right.
But in hindsight, I was hooked at that point, for sure. Right. Then by December 2011, I was starting to like really kind of like withdraw from like going out and partying and you know what I mean? Caring about girls and all that kind of shit. Like it was just 2 perks every day. Then going into 2012, that semester in college, I just like kind of stopped going. Somehow I still got like a 1.8. I have no clue how, because I didn't even take any finals. But and then that summer, like my buddy was living at me. We lived at my parents' house. We were working for my dad, rest in peace. And he knew he wasn't on drugs at all, but he sold weed and he was just trying to stack like fucking 50 grand in a couple months because he was moving to Florida. So
yeah,
he was like, yo, let me live at your house. We had the same connect. One like he's like a brother, and he was like, I'll keep you out of trouble.
Yeah. This is your pops?
No. This is my friend.
Oh,
he was living he was living with me at my parents' house.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because we were working for my dad. Him and my uncle owned like a commercial painting company. So we do like the fucking power washing and like the dummy work. So anyway, living there. So like, I beat him for like, I did some scummy shit at the time. And then he dipped out to Florida and that was his dream. He hated being in Delaware. I'm not a fan either, but anyway, so by that summer, I went to rehab for the first time. Cause at the end I was doing 20 plus perks every single day.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. My buddy, we were talking last night. He's like, I don't know how it came up, but I know the day before I had like an intervention that time, I did 30 in a 24-hour period. 30 perks.
Jeez, man.
Yeah,
that's 240 milligrams.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's fucking 900 milligrams.
Oh, it is? Wait.
30s.
30. Oh, you did 30 30s. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. My math's all fucked up. Okay. Damn. Holy crap. That must have been expensive.
It was. But like I said, at that point, I was starting to like burn people a little bit. / the money I had saved was spent, and I was spending it as I made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. I went through the exact same thing when I was like, that's exactly when I got hooked on opiates. I was selling weed as well.
Yep.
Like I had a good connect from like a dude who was getting shit from Cali. This was back when you could sell pounds for $4,000.
Same here.
And I was in like, that was like the golden era of weed.
Yep.
Like when I was selling weed. Sounds like you were too.
Everybody.
And you have so much money that you don't realize that, okay, at one point, like this isn't gonna keep this window of opportunity is gonna shrink at some point.
Well, like everybody in that game is usually like, let me put it this way. Out of all the kids I know, I'd say one of them didn't develop a drug habit or just blow the money. He was smart with the money. You know what I mean? Now, there's a lot of rumors that he was a snitch, which I totally believe because I just do, and I know him real well. But who knows? Without looking into it, I'm not gonna like look up the fucking paperwork on him. I don't give a fuck. But he's not. He's also not in the game still, anyway. So anyway,
right.
I come home from my buddy's house, and all my close friends are there, and one or two of them who I like didn't hang out hardly at all with at the time. So I was like, all right, something's up. It was an intervention, of course. Go to rehab for like 3 weeks. Dude, cold turkey. They at this, I don't know if they did offer Suboxone, but I swear to God, I felt crummy for like a week and couldn't sleep. But after like 7 days, dude, I didn't get true withdrawal. People were like, "You're lying." I swear to God, I did not. However, part of it's being in that setting, knowing you're not going to get high. That
What
has
up, banana smoothie? Sorry, go ahead.
good. I said, I'm sure everyone knows being in a controlled setting has a huge effect.
Oh yeah.
Knowing you're not going to get high, that actually takes the withdrawal away a little bit in my eyes. So I got out. Of course, I got high literally the first time, and I had no intention of doing that.
Right. We never do.
No. And I did like 230s and got fucked up. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I can start over again. I'm only going to do it like once or twice a week.
Right. You're like, oh, I don't have a tolerance anymore. It feels good again.
Yeah. So this is in like September 2012. Within a couple months, I was selling weed again. The connect who I burned before, like, somehow started fronting me again like a dumb fuck. Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I'm doing heroin by like January. I only shot up for like a couple weeks at the very end. And if that 10 is who I think it is, it was like these kids, I call them junkies. They're just other addicts. I think some are clean now. Some aren't. But like, I didn't know how to do it. The dope was total shit, man. I was doing like 5 or 6 bundles. The bundles we'd get, they were $40. They come with 13 bags, all individually wrapped in like the blue paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing like up to 8 bundles a day. So it was ridiculous, but like, and sniffing it. So like I was getting high, but it was at the point.
That's weird, bro. It's like I've always heard like the East Coast, like they've always just had like back in like the early 2010s, it was all powder and bundles, and you could get like the prices I would hear. I'd be like, damn, that's cheap. But the way people described it, it wasn't like as high quality, maybe.
Well, if you went to like Philly and stuff, but like I wasn't about to do that. I was like kind of paranoid, and I never got like pulled over or anything with opiates. I got arrested once with a 1/4 pound of weed when I just turned 18.
Yeah.
So I was the type where like I'd pay the fucking perk dealer $20 extra to deliver that shit to my house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I was just super paranoid. But anyway, I go through that. I burned my connect for like 10 grand at the end, burn another couple people. Check this out. This dude who ended up doing like 5 years in prison, we were gonna rob the kid, right? Everybody was strung out. I get in the basement. Yeah. I think he thought something was up because he had the 5 pounds laying out there, the best bud you could buy. And he was bugging out. Next thing you know, like 3 or 4 of his friends walk down the steps. So we're in the basement and I'm by myself. So there you go. Now this plan's fucked. So I had to like bullshit my way out of because I had like fucking 2 grand in ones like bundled up in a couple bundles. And so anyway, I didn't even give that up, like, because the whole point was to rob him. So long story short, I'm trying to describe like my last hurrah before the time I went to detox and got clean.
Yeah.
Well, that time around, and yes, I'm sorry, I'm not the best storyteller, but
no, you're good. You're doing good, bro. Keep going.
So, bro, this dude, he was whacked out. He was a fucking space cadet, bro. He was on so much shit. A fucking creep, kind of. Like, he just was a weird dude. And he was like 5'4", really tiny. He drove a Kia Soul. Like, he was just a weirdo, dude. But, bro, he was like the plug, man. He had endless perks, endless bud, any drug you wanted, he had it. And it was like, he was making bread, when he got arrested, he had like 6 figures in cash, which when you're strung the fuck out, that's a lot of cash. So
that really is.
And he had that, he had what really got him. As soon as they got him on that, and he didn't rat on anyone, he legit did 5 years, like at least 4. So he was probably sentenced to like 10 or 8 to 10 or something like that. And but but he had a fucking sawed off and he was a convicted felon already. So you get caught with a gun by person.
Oh yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah, in Minnesota, that's a mandatory minimum of 60 months.
Right. So yeah, you're going to jail. And gun, so by person prohibited or gun and drugs. So when you get pulled over, the cops, the first thing they look for is a gun, because that's like the guaranteed you're fucked. And
right.
That's how they get people to snitch usually. So anyway, he's like, bro, I know you were trying to beat me, and I had done a ton of business with him. For one, buying tons of perks off of him, but I used to be his plug. So he was so whacked out. So he's like, all right, man. He's like, yo, do you want to make some money? And I'm like, of course. I'm like, I'm running out of like schemes to beat people. And
yeah,
I'm like Ponzi scheming my connect. Right. So like I had burned him for like 10 grand or 5 grand. So, but he would front me like 2 pounds at a time. And then I was getting like my other buddy a couple pounds from him. And like, he'd like take off like, X amount per pound I got from the other kid. But like, I would just pay him off enough from what he was giving me, because I was still getting high. And then I was like delivering pounds to people from my friend I was living with. You know what I mean? Just typical junkie bullshit. So,
right.
So this dude's like, yo, he's like, if I can use your house as a place, because he was getting pounds shipped from Cali. At the time, the couple kids around town who were like the main connects, that's what they were doing. Like I said, this was 2012 into 2013. It was 2014, maybe 15. That was kind of like the high prices were over with. I'm pretty sure now they're way over with. But anyway, at least 20.
I remember when the prices started to drop is when 10 a gram started. That's when
because I'm not a weed smoker and I haven't sold weed since 2013. I just know from just being around friends and then like living out west. So anyway, I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, what's your address? He's like, I'll let you know. Well, bro, a couple of days later, I get a package. He never said anything. That like 2 days after the package came, he said, yo, remember, he's whacked out. Yo, bro, there's a package going to be coming today or tomorrow. I'm like, yo, you didn't even give me a heads up. So this was the perfect chance to beat his ass. So I took the pounds, sold him. I got like 9 or 10 grand. Maybe I got 8 grand. I just offed him real quick. The best bud ever to one dude. And he had the cash. So that this was like the last month of my like getting high. Then I burned my connect. So anyway, I go to detox. I remember like I would deposit money in my plug's account at a bank, right?
Yeah.
He was from like, a 6-hour drive away. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm on my prepaid phone. I had nowhere to live. I had been kicked out of my parents' house for like a month. I was couch surfing, shit like that. Barely eating. Like I'd eat like $1 menu meal a day and like some candy.
Yeah.
And at that point I was shooting it up because if I like, because the kid that knew like that he shot up himself, and of course like I'd be like, bro, I'm not like, I need to see a needle coming like fresh out of a fucking package. And he was like, he wasn't that guy. So anyway, the detox, I was there for like 7 days. Again, this is a cold turkey. This time I felt kind of shitty, but I got out and my mom was now you should, in my opinion, you should be at a detox for a minimum of like 12 to 15 days. People think I'm not doing a 28-day. All right, bro. Well, you should do at least 2 fucking weeks. So you might as well do the 28-day. But I get out. My mom, and rightfully so, man, she's like so scared that I'm gonna fucking get high again. So she had Naltrexone. Now I'll backtrack too, bro. It had been 7 or 8 days since I did anything.
Yeah,
and took one Naltrexone pill. I had already known what it's like. Immediate precipitated withdrawal, bro. Right?
It had been 7 days since you've done the opiates.
7 days. So I want to tell people that story. So let me backtrack. That's between the first time I went to rehab and the second, it was like 8 months, give or take. at least 3 times, and then the 4th time was after a detox. I had taken Naltrexone. I forget the milligram. It's a pretty big pill, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the milligram. It's a 24-hour. You take it every day, and it's like a 24-hour Narcan or Vivitrol, whatever you want to call it. It blocks. When you're on that, it's not Suboxone. You are not getting high, period. People overdose.
It's the opposite of getting high.
Well, what I'm saying is people die from overdoses because they'll shoot up like fucking 5 bundles at once because like you're not gonna get high. You get what I'm saying? You'll
right,
or you feel high on that.
Right.
So sorry, I'm fucking walk next door to get some like soup at this coffee shop. I like to like pace around the job site when I can and make phone calls. So I'm not like sitting there hovering over the guys like a creep. But so when my mom, when like if you get out of rehab and that your parents think you're doing good, but you're not, but you're not fully strung out yet, so you can kind of like hide what you're up to. So I agreed to get on Naltrexone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the first like almost month, I would cheek it and I just would get high, do my normal thing. Well, she found them. Of course, she called me nodding out a couple hours later because she would give it to me before she went to work. Now, my dad was self-employed and his business was kind of like, so he wasn't 100% on his mental game during that time. And he had, him and my uncle, his business partner, weren't getting along. So he wasn't super hip to what was going on. But, and I was 22 at the time. So anyway, I had a job. I would like work for him, but I was working for a landscape company. So that, the bare minimum to keep them off my back. And I'd go to a couple meetings a week, even though I was fucking high at them. Well, finally she called on, dude. And I was home alone. I took that fucking pill, bro. Within I want to say it's been a while. I want to say within half an hour, you just feel this like weird feeling come across your body. It is not anywhere near what withdrawal feels like.
It's like a cool cool sensation goes throughout your body, basically.
And then you get the urge to kind of want to like twitch a little bit, like you do when you're really dope sick. And next thing you know, you want to just like lay down and like almost like convulse, where you just are like shaking. And then what will happen is you'll feel like that, and then you'll shit yourself. Like you'll
go through this process. Are you in the rapid detox phase yet? So everyone who's just getting everyone who's just getting caught up, let them know what's going on right now.
Okay, so right now I am an inactive fucking opiate addiction. I was taking between 10 and 15 perk 30s a day or a couple bundles of dope a day. A lot of dope, a full-blown junkie. And I was living at my mom's house. I'm 22, and part of living there was that I'd be on Naltrexone. So of course, being a junkie, I figured I'll cheek it. Boom. I work, but like at this point, I don't know if I wasn't working or I was working part-time, I'm going to be home alone. So I cheek it right before my mom goes to work. By 10 o'clock, I can get whatever I need to get, whatever. At that point, I was like in the game long enough where I wouldn't ever save dope or pills from the night before. I would just be up till 3 or 4 getting high. So I still was high. So, and it's not fentanyl. So like, I've never done fentanyl except for like a patch way back in the day.
Yeah.
Even the same.
Not like street fentanyl.
No. So, you can do dope like, and you're okay for like at least like 12 hours. You're not going to be dope sick until after 24 hours. Like, I don't care. As like, I've heard people even try to say with methadone, like, oh, dude, when it's only been like 16 hours, I'm like, I don't know I think that's bullshit, but that's just me. I've gone 3 or 4 days without methadone, and until like the 4th day, where I just feel like a little anxious, like my nose isn't running, my eyes, like I don't feel anything. So anyway, yeah, you go into this weird feeling, overcomes you, and mainly you just like it's like something possessed your body when you take the naltrexone, right?
Yeah.
Because someone's like, yo, what if you get a Vivitrol shot? I don't know, because I don't think that shit's reversible. See, once I took the naltrexone once, I say the bad effects last for like between 12 and 16 hours. It's not a full 24 hours. And the peak bad feeling is from like hours 1 through hours like 6.
So they didn't put you under?
Bro, I took it at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So what?
Because I was thinking rapid detox, like they put you
No.
under anesthesia and then they
No, I
inject
was
you.
wide. No. I was awake when I took this shit. What I was trying to tell you is, I was prescribed naltrexone
Oh, gotcha.
to take on a daily basis. You guys can look it up. It's a pill. I'm pretty sure it's all the same. It's a decent sized pill, and yeah, it's an opiate blocker, right? You could, but I was in active addiction because I would cheek it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. I just thought you went to an actual rapid detox center.
No. I'm trying to explain to people what it's like just fucking taking it. But also, I kind of have experience with like so I'm trying to say it's a bad fucking idea to try to do this shit on your own. That's one. Are you gonna die? No. It's bad. It's not. Once you get through it and like you're past like hour 10, 11, or really once you're past like hour 7 to 8, dude, it's not that bad. I swear.
Yeah.
And this is me in full blown addiction. But you're not gonna get high. Like, but the first couple hours, the first 2-3 hours, like buckle up. You shake uncontrollably, like you just want to like jerk in every direction laying in bed.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta kind of lay in bed. And then what I would do is, sorry, it's gonna sound gross, I would just sit in a warm tub because you're gonna shit yourself a few times. And
yeah.
you can't control it. You're gonna shit, throw up a little bit, mainly shit, and it's totally uncontrollable. It's just like the shit.
That's crazy.
Out of your body. So, and I did this like 4 times. So again, I would cheek it. Now, I will say this. Obviously, except for the last time when I was plotting to go score perks or dope, I would usually wait. You would have to wait like, of course I'd try to wait like 12 hours, 16 hours. You got to almost wait like 30 hours for those opiates to work. So that's how strong this shit is. Now, I will say it's weird, but in full addiction, say I take the naltrexone, like after up to like, I think I took it and then didn't get high for 48 hours from when I took it, right? Went through that massive, it's not normal precipitated withdrawal. It's exaggerated.
Holy shit. That sounds horrible.
It is. But again, it's like looking back, I'd rather do that than go through a long drawn out withdrawal. Seriously, I really would. So
yeah,
that's something to keep in mind. If they can sedate you and shit, bro, I think it's a great idea. if they have a proven track record with like real reviews,
yeah,
I would say that sounds awesome.
No, yeah, there's places that literally put you under anesthesia and they give you like massive amounts of IV naltrexone, and you get extremely sick, but supposedly it like speeds up the withdrawal process.
Oh, it does. It does. That's what I'm trying to say is at that 48-hour mark, I just felt kind of like normal, when you get clean and like you're not on anything and it's been like a month, you feel just kind of normal.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. So again, and I did this 3 times in active addiction. And then the 4th time was when I had been clean for 7-8 days. Then took that. Then I got on Suboxone. I think I might have taken a little methadone because I was like, I'm not trying to feel like this. And this time around, I was scared to like start getting high again, straight up. So I was like, I'm not, and I got on. So I'd like to tell that story if you want me to. That's past that, unless you have any more questions
No.
about Naltrexone. I think it's a good Naltrexone induced. I think if you're desperate, and 100%, I think it's a good idea. As long as you can find a trusted, reputable doctor, I say go for it.
Yeah.
Seriously, I really do. And so, all right. So that's 2013. I get out, I get a job right away, right off the jump. I got some methadone on the street, and then I get one doctor. I don't know what happened. He was making me go there twice a week, the typical jump through hoops bullshit. And he kicked me out right away. I forget why. It was an insurance reason. Didn't even get a heads up. And I went there and they're like, oh yeah, like, so dude, and I'm supposed to get a refill. I'm like, what the fuck? I'd been on this shit for like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm like, is this guy really doing this? Well, yeah, he really was.
Wow.
And I was in an IOP program. Bro, the fact that this guy did this, so I was basically like without a script or without a doctor for like a week, maybe 2 tops. They like reprimanded me. And I'm like, are you guys fucking kidding me? Because I had to buy it on the street. So I didn't have like the script to show them when I pissed hot for Suboxone. So
yeah,
this is a fucking joke. It wasn't court mandated or anything. It was like, I'm trying to get clean. So like, obviously I didn't go back there. I like threw this like house plant on the fucking in the group and like made a fucking mess. But
yeah.
Anyway, they started me out on 24 milligrams of Suboxone, which that was too much. I was definitely getting high off of that. That only lasted like 2, maybe 3 weeks. And as soon as I started working, that wasn't an option because I would have been fucking high. So pretty quickly, I went down to like, so that was on that for like 2 weeks. Boom, went down to fucking 16, was down to 12 within a month and a half. Then I was down to 8 within 2 months. And then I was down to 4 within like, I want to say like 4 months. And then I stayed on 4 milligrams for like a year. And then I started buying it on the street. So this is where it gets a little weird. I don't know why. Oh, I ran out because I like took extra. I don't know. But
yeah,
I felt
out of your Suboxone.
Yes. 4 was fine, man. I had barely any side effects, a little constipation. That's it. I didn't gain any weight. You couldn't look at me and be like, oh, no, I was totally normal. Like, wasn't pale. My pupils weren't ever fucking pinned at all. Like, that, to me, Suboxone is the way to go, preferably over methadone. You're not going to get.
Yeah.
I think methadone is a fucked up drug, but we'll get to that. So, anyway, this is 2013, blah, blah, blah. I take it, and then I start buying it on the street a lot, too, and, like, taking more than I should. Like, I'll take sometimes, like, 24 milligrams a day. But the thing is I, like, must have, like, hit a ceiling because it no longer gave me, like, the kind of euphoric effect. So, like, then I go back down. So I'm just taking, like, my 4 milligram a day. Sometimes I would take 8 milligrams a day. Well, then in, like, 2017, I started like experimenting. So like I would take it every other day and I realized I felt fine. Sometimes I take it like I would take it Monday and I wouldn't take it again until Thursday morning. Still like I felt like, like halfway through Wednesday night, right? I started feeling like, all right, it seems like I need it, but like, wasn't bad, dude. So like, I think them saying you need to take it every day, of course they're going to do that for one. They're going to sell how much more? If you're taking it every other day, look at Suboxone and all the buprenorphine sales. They're going to be cut in half immediately. Think about that, right? They're not going to advocate for that. This is just me talking. But like, and I always thought there's no way until I tried it. And I'm telling you, man, I felt no side effects. The half-life is what? It's almost like it's designed to take every 2 days or so. The half fucking ridiculous. It's like fucking 2 days or something. So
of what, methadone?
No, I'm talking about Suboxone right now.
Oh, yeah,
so,
Suboxone actually has a longer half-life than methadone, surprisingly.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's almost as if it's designed to take every other day based on the half-life. So,
right, dude, like people think that like methadone is so much harder to get off than subs. I honestly don't think it is, because like with methadone, you can just drop like, 5 milligrams a month.
Yeah.
And you'll barely feel shit.
I think they're both kind of equally. It just depends, but
they both have heart. Like I've been on both of them multiple times. They both have their downsides. They both have their upsides.
For me, when you're on it, let's just say, because like for me, for the time being, I was talking to my mom the other day. I was like, look, for now, I was like, I'm not planning on, and I'll get to what I'm on now. Okay. So after 2016, my insurance, and I was self-employed at the time. So I was making decent money and blah, blah, blah. But like, for some reason, come like I forget, but I was paying $100 for the visit. And then they would drug test me only twice a year, bro. If that, I had been going there for 4 years, never failed a fucking drug test. So I'd go once a month. So these are the pros for Suboxone. Once a month appointment. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't feel like a fucking scumbag in a clinic. If you can regular doctor's office. And believe it or not, I would recommend this. Going to a doctor whose specialty is not addiction, because you're not going to feel as much like that stigma. My doctor was approved. Well, I'm sorry. Main doctor. None of their specialties were addiction. They had plenty of normal ass fucking geriatric patients.
Right.
So that's what I would recommend. You don't feel like a fucking grind ball. You go to clinics and shit, man. You're going to be running into people you don't
You're going to be running into so much riffraff, man. It's like a benzo fucking crack convention, meth convention.
Everyone looks unhealthy. Everyone there looks unhealthy. I mean,
dude, that's what my parents would sometimes bring me to the methadone clinic, and like they would look at everyone and they'd be very they were like, this is where we're bringing you. Like, we don't want you to turn into this. Like,
exactly. And for some reason, like, because I knew a girl, and like I said, I'll get to this. All right, so let me get to that. 2018, I just stopped going because I had a girlfriend. Not like I wasn't banging her. Well, I did at one point, but anyway, she was prescribed it, but she was like a tiny girl. She's like fucking 5'2", 110 pounds. She barely took it. So like she was prescribed like 30 or 45, 8 milligrams a day. I was usually only taking an 8 every other day, or like 4 a day. So if I bought like 15 to 28s I was set. And she was only charging me like 10, maybe $15 a pop. I would give her like fucking 20 a pop just to hook her up. And it was still cheaper than going to the doctor because I didn't have. Well, fast forward to summer 2020. She was my main plug to get. Never had an issue. Well, she got like pregnant, whatever, and she started taking methadone. Well,
she had to get off the Suboxone because she was pregnant.
Honestly, man, I think she wanted to be on methadone. You feel more of a high. Let's keep it real.
Right.
That's what she wanted. So, or she may have relapsed and I didn't know about it. It doesn't matter. But now she's on methadone. All right. So my perfect plug for Suboxone, and I tried, man, a couple of people, and I was all about being discreet. Like no one knew I was on it because you couldn't tell. I had my own business. Everything's going fucking great. Couldn't tell at all. So I didn't, you don't want people to know when you're certain business. And all my close friends, dude, none of them had drug issues. I was like the only one out of like, let's say 25, 30 people in like the bigger group. And then like only like maybe 3 out of the 30 did. And then I was the only one out of like that group of 8, like lifelong friends. So I didn't want anybody knowing about that. I know they judge me, and it's just none of their business.
I was doing great. You know what I mean? And I started drinking, and that's another story. And I'll get into that too if you want after this. But so I was like, all right. So I didn't realize this right then and there. I should have said, fuck methadone. I'll just go back to the Suboxone doctor. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was doing coke pretty often then. I was living 2 hours south of where I normally do for work because we were doing like a big ass project at a golf course. And it was awesome, man. That summer, it was 2020. It was like COVID, but I was getting more pussy than ever, making fuck tons of money, going out, had a dope ass house, right on the fucking bay, beautiful views, you know, and like it was the shit. And anyway, and it's like a little town where a bunch of sexy ass girls live. So it was like a good time. And our business, like we were starting to do like the big jobs with like big equipment. Like our first really big, it was like a $2 million job. So anyway, I started doing it. Now at the time, I didn't know, and I only sipped a tiny bit and I was fucked up. So I kind of liked it, right? Obviously.
What?
Methadone.
Oh, okay.
So this is like September 2020. Now she'd sell me. I have no idea, bro, because I'm sure she wasn't being totally honest. I'd give her $200 worth. That would last me over 2 weeks. And I would usually take it every 2 days or every third day. All right. I would just take a little sip and that'd be plenty. Right. Well, over time, I think you build a tolerance to methadone.
Oh, of course.
All right. So boom, boom, boom. Now it became expensive because I didn't have health insurance. So then, and I built a tolerance. So I was spending like $300 or so a week on methadone, which isn't that much, but it's still too much. When you're trying to save money, that's like,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. And you don't want to have to meet with the people. Just everything about buying drugs to a certain degree, like cringy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like being shady. So now we are here. Now I did it once where this was like a year and a half into being on methadone. I started taking Suboxone, not Subutex, Suboxone. I didn't take methadone for 4 days and I took a 4 milligram, waited, and I felt fine. I waited 4 days or so. And I was on methadone for a year at that point. It's not like I was on it for a week or a month. Yeah. It was a year. Like it's not like 2.5 years like it is now or 2. So that's where I'm at. It's like I want to get, and I tried, but like I can't find it on the street, Suboxone. And my main doctor, the last time I went there, I just like went and for a month or 2 and then just like dipped out. So they discharged me. They won't even take me back. So that's part of me. It's like, well, what should I do? So I'm like, well, in reality, I should just go to the methadone clinic. That way I'd stop having to spend fucking $300+ a week on it on the street. Step 1. Okay.
Yeah, definitely, man. That would save you a lot of money.
Bro, I know for a fact, and it wasn't really fucking me up. So this is where I'm not like scared. But I've taken sealed bottles. Once I've taken 280 milligram bottles at a time, plus like another 90 at once.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fucked up. And I know how they start you off. So part of me is like, man, I'm probably going to have to buy some on the street for the first week or 2 to supplement what they'll give me. Because they ain't going to start me at like 150 or so. They're going to fucking start you at like 30. And it's going to take a couple weeks. So then, so my plan is to go to the clinic and then try to get to 2 and supplement it with it on the street. Get them to give me 180 a day. Okay. I'm not doing any other drugs, so it shouldn't take me long to get at least a couple take homes. Right. And then I'd like to fucking go down by 5 milligrams a week until I get to like 50. I don't think that's that hard to do.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like I said, if you're taking 180 to just 5.
I mean, I came off of it multiple times, and I mean, I would say, and like when you're on the higher doses, 5 milligrams a week is fine, probably until you get down to like 100. Then I would slow it down a little bit. Then I'd maybe do like 5 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then keep doing that until you feel uncomfortable, and then just, adjust as you need to, I mean, it all depends on how much you can tolerate.
But yo, check this out. Why the fuck? And this is the biggest bullshit. It's mainly for pregnant women. Why won't they prescribe fucking Subutex? It's Suboxone without the blocker.
Oh, I've been on Subutex before. I was in 2019. So it's very hard to convince a doctor because they think that Naltrexone is like they think you're trying to do something sketchy with it. But I told them that I was having adverse reactions to the Naltrexone, and I was getting headaches and stuff like that. And I basically told my doctor, I'm gonna have to get on methadone or something because this just isn't working. I'm getting headaches and and then they gave me Subutex.
So that's what I'm saying.
But it's pretty hard. I've tried to do it since then, and no avail. All the doctors were like, "Fuck no, you're not getting Subutex."
That's what I'm saying. So right now, I usually take methadone, usually every day, but a lot of times I'll take it every other. And again, I've gone up to 4 days. I'm sorry, 5 days without taking it. On the 5th day, I start to honestly get a weird chest pain near my heart. That's what the side effect. It's very weird, almost in my armpit.
Yeah.
During that, I've had my mom check my blood pressure and my pulse. It's obviously some type of like quasi mental side effect. As we all know, opiate withdrawal has side effects that are like don't make sense to science and medicine. So
right.
But yeah, but like I said, if I could so that's why I'm scared. At this point, I know I'd be fine. So that's what I said. If I'm on like 180 to 200 milligrams of methadone a day, and trust me, I don't sweat. People can't even tell that I'm on that because my tolerance is there.
Right.
And I'm not taking other drugs. I don't even drink. So I've been totally
yeah, dude. I was about to say, Righteous Monkey just brought up a good point. Like, you talking about not taking it for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, like that's crazy to me, bro. Like, I fucking start like getting finicky if I miss one dose. If I don't take my full 16 milligrams, I feel like I feel that shit. Even just in one day. But
I get that. And
I'm a big baby though when it comes to withdrawals, bro.
I'm not lying. Now again, I normally take it every day or every other day. I don't go the 4 or 5 times. That wasn't on purpose. I was in county jail 2 times. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which again, when you can't get high and you got to adapt, it goes easier. Believe me, especially you're in county jail now. Like, no one fucks with you. Like, where I'm at, it ain't fucking Chicago. No one's fucking with you. It's about 70% black, 30% white. But like, I'm not a tiny ass dude, and like, I don't look like a fucking sex offender, some total creep. No one's fucking with you.
That's how our county jails are, bro. Like, as long as you're like solid and you're not showing you're not all timid and shit like that, like you're pretty good. But if you're all timid, like I've seen a lot of people come into the county jail all timid, and then people like start taking their trays and fucking asking them for commissary and stuff like that. And,
dude, 2 guys I was in county jail with ended up working for me before.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God, they were my bunkies. And one was like a fucking Latin king, and he was a fucking really good worker. And the other dude was like a little slow, so he only lasted like a month. But yeah, they were
nice. Dude, yeah, isn't that crazy? They provide methadone in our county jail now.
I heard they do in my state, but the thing is, you have to. I heard
you got to be on it though first.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Which most people that get locked up, they're not on methadone because they're out doing dumb shit.
But you can get in our county, like if, let's say you got a heroin habit or a fentanyl habit, you go in, they can get you on Subutex in there, but they can't get but yeah, so they can get you on sub, and like, dude, people are starting to take advantage of it. Like when last time I was in county jail, like I was in this because I was in there for a domestic, so I was in like the violent pod. I was in like the gang module and shit, bro. Like so that I was in like a serious fucking county pod, and like
fuck that,
dude. All these like gang members and shit that like didn't even really do drugs on the streets. They're just there fighting murder cases, so they would just get on Suboxone just
they're trying to
ease the stress, you know. And like fuck, I don't blame them.
My like we had a group of friends. It's like 4 of us, including me. Like, so one of them passed away a couple years ago. He had a heart condition, and then rest in peace. He was 20. I think he just turned 28, but that was terrible. And then, well, my other best friend from an altercation in 2009, right? They were visiting West Virginia. Now, I was so close to going on this trip, bro, and the car was out front, and we were gonna have to pack, me, my boy, and 2 girls were gonna have to pack in the back seat of like a Cobalt. We're like, fuck that, we ain't going. So, well, long story short, our best friend ends up killing someone. He got into a fight. It was 2 of my friends versus like 4 other kids. Just so happens that my friends are badass fighters, you know? It wasn't premeditated. It was just a drunk college fight. You feel?
Yeah.
Well, he ends up doing 5 years in West Virginia prison. And he's a big dude. He's like 6'2". You know, when he's eating a fuck ton and lifting, like no 6-pack, but not fat. He's like 260. He's a big fucking guy. So
right.
This is where the differences with prison come in. It's the more one race is like the majority, but there's other races. That's what causes bullying and shit. If you go to prison in Alabama, it's fucking 90% or 85% black. And nothing against black people, but like that's where
that would be a nightmare for someone like me to go to prison in Alabama, dude, because like I've fucking heard the horror stories of those prisons down there, bro.
Exactly. Now, my buddy in West Virginia, look it up. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's like over 95%, maybe even more than that, white in their prison system. Okay. So at that point, they just turn on each other because they have nobody to bully. Now,
right.
Yes, they have.
The whites don't stick up for each other. I mean, that's kind of I think that's kind of a similarity across the country.
Yeah,
is the whites don't stick up for each other as much as like.
No, they do. No, that's not true. In West Virginia, these dudes are solid. They have
the West Virginia. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's different in West Virginia, but
in California they do too, and in Texas.
Yeah.
No,
they don't in Minnesota, bro. Like yeah, it's kind of weird up here, bro. But
in Delaware they do. Where I'm from, it's about half and half, to be honest. Now it's not like there's no racial tension though. Like it's just Delaware. I don't know. It's one of those states like we have a city up north, and then the rest, a lot of it's like kind of rural. So there's plenty of like country ass black dudes here.
Right.
Oh
is
yeah.
Is it a pretty chill jail system or what?
I've never been to the state prison. I've only done a couple weeks there's 2 different jails. One's called Gander Hill. That's in Wilmington. That's worse because
that's where my buddy's from. My buddy, David Penn. He's from Wilmington.
Yeah, you should at the end of this, drop your email and we'll be able to get a hold of each other.
Okay. Or you can always get a hold of me on Instagram, Luke G TV.
I don't do any social media right now, bro.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't really either, honestly, bro. Like all I do is YouTube, and like I have Instagram, but I don't really post on it. Like I just use it to talk pretty much.
Yeah. I love Snapchat, and I had like a couple 100,000 because I loved it because again, I own my own business for a while. So like I didn't want any of my shit out there because I knew I'd be out. People would take pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
just didn't want that happening. So anyway, so yeah, Gander Hill is in Wilmington. That's kind of bad. Like, again, unless you're a straight pussy, no one's gonna fuck with you, right? And like, I remember the first day I was so hungover, and this big ass black dude, he didn't try to take my food or nothing, but all the white dudes were total junkies. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, just slimy, like disgusting looking. Anyway, when I was in there, this was at Gander, and he's like, "Yo, you good, bro?" You know what everyone knows what that means. They're not asking like, "Yo, man, what's going on? Yo, you good?" Like, they're like testing you to see if you're gonna be like, "Oh no, you want my food?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, what's up?" They're like,
"Oh, you're saying they're trying to take your food, basically?"
No, not literally. It's just like they're just trying to kind of like size you up. Like, "Yo, man, you good?" Like, that's not literally. It's just that.
Right.
So anyway, kind of like, huh?
Oh, sorry. My thing was going off. My sound. Go ahead.
Anyway, that jail, I wasn't there, but the other one, Georgetown, again, that's where it's more like country black dudes, and like it's way more laid back. Now the state prison, you know, it's like anything. If you're they don't, no one fucks with sex offenders. It's about half and half on the race stuff, and there's plenty, like, the dudes there are there for like time. So like the white dudes that are there, they're more solid than the ones that are just doing like, you know, a couple weeks. Or if you get into like the VOP section, that's where it's mainly drug addicts, to be honest. So like the people aren't going to be as solid, and they're going to be more like pussy. But from what I've heard, like California, and this is how it should be, it's segregated to prevent bullying. So
yeah, they were smart out there, dude. Like, they were, because
well, you got to remember, bro, since like way back in the day, they've had a lot of each race. So like Delaware, until recently, you had like, until the last like 20 years, you had like hardly any Mexican or Hispanics. Okay. But black, it was 50-50. But like up until recently, it's like way back in the day, the prison was mainly white because they had segregated prisons up. I don't know if you knew that. Like, prisons were legitimately segregated at least up until like the 50s, even the 60s. Damn. In some areas, it was low key though, or it was segregated literally within the prison. Now the prison in California, they're not literally segregated like each block, but like whites will not bunk with a black dude unless he claims like a black gang, and then like he's targeted. Now the lower levels, it's more laid back. So anyway, but the whole point is like everyone looks out for each other, and the whites are actually technically the majority still. You got to remember, bro, the US is only 12% black. People forget this all the time. Like, they are like by far the minority. I didn't know that because where I live, it's like kind of 50-50 because I live close to a city that's like, I would say 70% plus. But I didn't realize that. Think about that. It's only 12% black. So the prison system in California, since way back in the day, bro, them being right next to Mexico, they've always had a lot of Hispanics. And then starting in like the 20s, 30s, and then massively after World War II, black people from the South were going to Chicago, Milwaukee, and California. So think about that. It went from being pretty much all white. That's where these other groups are like, you know, we need to start our own gangs and stuff because we're the minority. And then as it spread, you know, it's equal for the most part. It's pretty equal. But again, everyone sticks together, and it cuts back on fucking rape and stuff. Because think about it. You're down in Alabama. I hate to say it. It's 95% black. I mean, bro, 95% black. Now, if it were all black, then everyone turns on each other. Like I said, like it was for my boy in West Virginia. They had gangs. Like, they were trying to recruit him for one gang. I think it was called DMI, Dead Man Incorporated.
Yeah, that's what, you know, the YouTuber Big Lance, that's what he was.
Yeah, I watched some of his shit. So again, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. if you ever talk to him, or I don't know if you're a fan of his or not, but you ought to ask him if they have any people. And like I said, my friend was a big ass white dude, you know, respectable, no weirdo charges, didn't do any drugs. So I mean, bro, he was like the fucking perfect recruit for them. He's not strung
just a
out.
solid ass wood.
And he was in there for basically beating somebody to death with his bare hands. So guess what? He did the total opposite. He held his own, you know, he did a fucking couple of 30-day whole terms, you know, in the shoe or whatever, the hole, you know what I mean? But he got out and he had a kid within 2 years of getting out. He owns a home now, 2 rental properties, and he's been married for a couple of years and has like a 7-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. So again, he's doing better than I am, but he never had drug problems or anything. But so backtrack. I want to talk about, if you don't mind, because I think people should know as much as possible about meth and the dangers of it. So if that's cool with you, I know I'm like
meth
on. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So
I love talking about meth.
All right. So I've always loved, I'm getting home, by the way, so I'm letting my dogs out and shit. We're working super close to the job site too. So normally get done this time of the year, no later than like 4:30, but usually around 3:30. Come on. Let's go. Come on, dude. So I got like where I'm at. I gotta stay like close to the Wi-Fi, or else the reception's fucking horrible on the cell network. So anyway, meth. So a couple years ago, working in construction and concrete, a lot of guys, especially supposedly iron workers, love meth around here, and it's crystal. It's not this is like crystal. You know what I mean? Like shards, like the shit.
Yeah, so it's made its way to Delaware, huh? Because I've heard on the East Coast. Years. I've heard like in Boston and New York, there's no meth.
No, there is. Believe me. It's been here for fucking over 10, 15 years, maybe longer. Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So again, I didn't drink. I was just on the Suboxone, bro, from 2013 to 25 years, which to me, I drank 2 times and did coke like 5 times. That was a good stretch for me. That's how I fucking started a business. You know what I mean? Just being consistent. So like, that's why I tell people, don't fucking let people talk down on you for being on fucking Suboxone. I've heard you kind of say that. Do not let people shame you for, if you're doing the right things and you're like, you know, trying to improve and like, you know what I mean? You're not trying to nod out on fucking methadone or Suboxone. You get what I'm saying? You're using it as part of your fucking bettering yourself. Don't let people, because people will try to shame you. Honestly, keep that shit to yourself. Keep that to yourself with people that you don't know until you get to know them, because people will badmouth you, especially in like the recovery scene. I did that. You know, there's a lot of fucking petty fucking people. I know you know this.
Oh yeah, I've dealt with it.
Yeah, I've seen you talk about the Jessica Kent. Like that girl is like the perfect example of like the fake. You know, a lot of those people are super fucking fake. Most of the guys are literally just there trying to get laid. Like, you know what I mean? It's yeah. So yeah. Anyway, it's like high school. A lot of those people were losers when they were younger and were junkies even in high school. So like they're literally almost trying to live like that, like high school college thing. It's fucking weird. Now, not everybody, but a lot of them. So with meth now, in 2018, when I started drinking again, that goes hand in hand with coke, obviously. And 2018 and 19, I had a beach house rental with a bunch of people. Well, one of my main concrete guys who passed away, concrete finisher, part-time employee, loved meth. And he always, the longer he worked for me, he'd bring it up, and he'd like low key try to hint at offering it to me, but I never took him up on it. Well, finally I did, and I liked it, bro. It was like,
and I liked it.
Yeah. Now I've probably done meth 60 times, maybe 70. Okay.
Yeah.
Over a 2.5 year period. I haven't done it since, I want to say, June or July. So anyway, I liked it. I had sex on it a couple of times. That was amazing. I even got this one girl to do it. It makes you extremely horny. I don't want to sound like a creep, and it makes you like, how do I put this? It doesn't make you a fucking rapist or anything, but it makes you like very
turns you into a sexual deviant.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Especially for a male more than it will for a woman. That's just the way it is. But even the female, she told me.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. Even the girl, like this girl was a hoe to begin with. And she was talking about like she wanted to get gang banged and gang raped. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, so I wasn't.
Damn, this is a little too spicy for me.
Right. So it makes you a weirdo. So, and yeah, you'll masturbate and stuff. Like, it's not a good look. Now, you won't always do that, but like, if you can, but like at first, it wasn't that strong. I don't know if he was cutting it or the shit he get wasn't that good, but it was like the perfect amount. I could do it at 5 or 6 p.m. And I'd still maybe get 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Now I'd be fucking spent the next day because, bro, your body temperature, you're not going to eat or drink when you're on meth. Okay. You're not going to. It's physically hard to even force yourself to drink water. So,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. I do it. Well, next thing you know, a dude I've known for years, these are all both older dudes, bro, both in their 50s. Okay. Lifelong fucking partiers, drinkers, but mainly upper users, right? Coke, crack. They're like, so we're working. I hadn't seen the guy in like a year. He's like, hey, Mikey. And I like low key brought it up because I could tell that like he was on something. And he's like, matter of fact, I got some in the truck. You want a bump? And I'm like, well, of course. And
of course.
Well, this time, bro, this wasn't like the shit the guy who gave it to me and I buy it off of the first. This shit was like on another level, man. Whoa, when I did it, I was like, holy shit. I didn't sleep for 2 nights off of fucking 2 small bumps. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking, this shit was insane. Well, then I start buying it off this guy. Again, I'm paranoid. I'm making money. This is summer 2019. Bro, I give him like $50-$60, and that would technically be enough for me to do a little bit every day for like 4 or 5 days. So
yeah,
very, very, very cheap. At least at first. Now, again, I couldn't even fathom doing like an 8-ball of meth in it. I can't fathom.
Dude, on the West Coast, meth is like $5 to $10 a gram.
Right, and dude,
it's like 90% pure.
Yeah, bro, they're testing and coming up with like 98%. This is on the street, like street level. This isn't like, you know what I mean? So like this is like the Breaking Bad shit. It's here. So
yeah.
So anyway, I started doing it. Bro.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I started mainly getting it off the one guy. This is 2019 fall going into 2020. And it was so good, man. But a couple of times, like I would do it on a Monday night. I stopped snorting it because it like the first couple months, it was tolerable. Again, I wouldn't sleep the first night, but like I definitely would the second night. But say I did it on a Monday night, I would still like when you do meth a lot of times, you'll be stuck. If people don't know what that means, it means, I don't know how to describe it. you're just stuck. You're like, you procrastinate, and like meth is an upper, but like I'm talking about like you haven't taken any bumps for like 12 to 24 hours. You still feel the effects, but you're not all amped up like when you first take it. So you're literally like stuck. You still feel good. Your body temperature is still high, blah, blah, blah. So you're less likely. And this is why guys on meth will like bullshit going to work. You know, they'll lie. They won't show up when they're supposed to. They're not necessarily withdrawn. They're just stuck. It's just part of, you know, you'll see people that'll like sit there and doodle something. Like I saw one guy, I think it was Wes Watson. Like he's like, yeah, this dude was tattooing for 10 hours and he literally just did like one dot. And he literally thought it was like a masterpiece. That's being stuck. So
guy thought he was freaking Picasso, huh?
Yeah, bro. So then it got even better, dude. This stuff was so good. I couldn't store it anymore. And there's a guy, look this guy's up, man, or someone put this in the chat. Look up Commitment Soldier. I think his name's Frank Rodriguez. Now, there's a channel on Instagram. They also have a YouTube called Fools Gone Wild. It's like Fools Gone Wild. Have you seen this? Spelled Foos. Gone Wild. And his name's Rodriguez, I think. And he goes by Commitment Soldier because he's in recovery. And he'll tell some stories about when he was a fucking meth head. And he would call it, and this is what I did. I would just swallow. I'm talking the tiniest bit, like a fifth or a sixth of your pinky fingernail, right? Boom. I take that, the latest batch. Now I'm not sleeping for at least 2, maybe not even 3 nights. Now, depending on how whacked out I want to get, I'll take that night. Then I'll take some more, a little bit more the next morning. It just depends.
Yeah.
The longest I stay 5. I want to say 5, maybe 6 days. The longest I ever stayed up. It's bad news, guys. You will not eat. You won't drink anything. And man, I remember one of the times I stayed up and I was super dehydrated, man. It literally felt like I had a fucking ball in my throat, bro. I couldn't even drink water. I would try to take a sip of water and I would just fucking dry heave. It was horrible. It was fucking horrible. And I don't know how to describe it. It was disgusting. It's the nastiest fucking drug. Like, now and then I can imagine the taste of it. Like when I would swallow, the dude Frank would call them Scooby snacks. You know, Scooby Doo, when they give him like his treat or whatever, and he's like a dumbass, and next thing you know, he like solves the crime. That's why he would call him fucking Scooby snacks. So just forewarning to people, like if anyone here has ever been into meth, man, again, it didn't like really take anything from me, but like it's so bad for you and it's so fucking strong, and it'll like make you, you know, what's the word? You end up just wanting to sit in your house by yourself, and freaking, like he said, it makes you a sexual deviant and it makes you a bullshitter. Like, say I got high Friday night. I can't remember how many times my buddies were like, yo, you want to go golfing on Saturday? Or yo, you want to come to this event? And you're like, nah, or you'll say yeah. And then you wake up and you're stuck. So again, some people too, nowadays, I saw it, man. A lot of IV heroin users with speedball with meth, and they would say that if they did some meth, they would need way less heroin or fentanyl, which I can see, and it's way, way, way cheaper. So everyone out there, you know, be super careful with that stuff. Are you still here, bro?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to the bathroom, so I turned my camera off.
So that's pretty much where I'm at, man. Like, I've been totally off everything for like 3 months now. I'm also was a fucking hardcore alcoholic the last couple years. So, you know,
Yeah.
The meth and this and that, what would happen was I'd get fucking drunk as fuck and it'd lower my inhibitions. And that's when I'd usually do meth. You know what I mean? Alcohol, a lot of gateway. You know, I got a DUI for the first time in 2021. And from 2018 to probably 5-6 months ago, you know, it took me about a year to become basically a daily drinker, you know, and be careful, guys. Cause like I said, I had, you know, I was just on the maintenance drug, wasn't abusing it at all, but I started drinking, man. And like I said, I would drink fucking on average about a fifth a day. So, my thing was Fireball, bro. And what I would do is I would stop. The liquor stores were in my state open at 9 a.m. So our kind of work, I had a work truck when we had our own business and a little Honda Civic. So I'd actually drive the little Honda Civic a lot because it was so good with gas. And I'd let one of my take my work truck because he didn't have a vehicle at the time. So I'd be like, all right, bro, you can fucking drive the truck for a couple weeks. So I would leave, you know, depending on what we were doing. I wouldn't always be at the job because like we would do jobs 2 hours away from where I live. And, you know, I would wake up and I'd get to the job at like 9 or so because I don't like being on the guy's ass first thing in the morning. They know what they got to do. We had a foreman, blah, blah, blah. But like, man, I was like planning my trip, knowing where I could dip into a fucking liquor store at 9 a.m. And
yeah,
I knew every liquor store between fucking Northern Delaware and fucking Salisbury, Maryland, which is like, you know, dude, it was bad. And like I said, that's when I'd get drunk. Say I hadn't done coke or meth in a while. One of my workers was a coke dealer. He knew to just keep a couple bags on him. You know what I mean? He knew, and he was my employee. Most of the time, he would just front me, and at the end of the week, I'd pay him for whatever I got. Right? If I got 200 worth, boom, he knew I was good for it, and it was like he could make a decent amount of money just selling to me and the other workers. Now I didn't care at the time as long as it didn't affect anybody's like work. So, but anyway, that's where I'm at now. My goal, I'm trying to get off methadone. I'm not abusing it, but I'm spending too much money on it, which I don't like. Now, I could technically, which I applied for right now, I can technically get the free insurance because I'm laid off for the winter. And that's my plan, man. What I really would prefer to do, bro, is, and I'm procrastinating on it, is just find the fucking doctor that will prescribe me Subutex. I'd way rather just tomorrow start on 24 milligrams.
Yeah, but you're still gonna go into precipitated withdrawal from Subutex too.
Really? Well, then I would wait, but there's no way it's as bad as taking Suboxone with the blocker.
The main agonist that puts you into precipitated withdrawal is the buprenorphine is like 70% of it, and then naloxone is like 30%. So like I've gone into precipitated withdrawals on Subutex. It's not as bad as on Suboxone, but it's still happening.
I didn't know that, bro. I'm glad you told me that, because if I can score some on the street, I will. But this is what I was thinking. What do you think? If I can wait 4 or 5 days, is it necessary to taper down, or should I just wait as long as I fucking can? I
would just start slowly tapering on your methadone, bro. Honestly, I would just start going down 5. Like, you got to just do it slow but steady and just hang in there, man. And the winter is the perfect time for you too, because you're not working.
I'm not as busy. Yeah. So what do you think though, bro? Do you think Because I don't know, because at this rate, I would be in the middle of the work season. So I'm not trying to go cold. I'm not trying to get off of everything. But what I'm saying is I'm just, at this point, I'm trying to get on to Suboxone or Subutex, whatever. So you don't think it's worth a try to not take methadone for 4 to 6 days?
Nah, man, you're gonna need to wean yourself down to like 30, 40 milligrams and then stop taking it, because you're at way too high of a dose to even consider switching to Suboxone right now.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, you're at way too high of a dose. You're gonna have to wait for weeks before you get on it. Believe me, bro, I have experience. I've done it multiple times.
I'm not saying, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just like, it psychs me out because I did it before, right? Where I waited and I did start taking Suboxone, and I took it for like a month and a half or two, and I didn't have any fucking side effects. Now, granted, again, I was only on methadone at this time for like 7, 8, 9 months, and not probably as high of it. I was probably on like maybe 120 a day, 100 to 120. But I get what you're saying. It's like, why not just taper down? Like, you know what I mean? It makes sense to taper down on the methadone before you switch anyway. Am I wrong?
Say that again.
I said, like, it sounds like the right move to taper down the methadone before you get on to Suboxone anyway. Even if I could go 4 to 6 days and not get some precipitated withdrawal.
I mean, I just did it, bro. And basically I was on 100 milligrams. And what I did, I had to do it quick because I moved far away from my clinic. So I was having to drive there every day. So basically what I did is I just started going down 5 milligrams a week until I got down to 30 milligrams. And then I stopped for 4 days and I used some kratom to kind of help with the withdrawals. Or I stopped for 5 days, actually. I stopped for 5 days using kratom. And then I switched over to Suboxone. And when I took a low dose, the first day was fine. I still kind of felt shitty and I took my 4 milligrams. The second day I took 12 milligrams and I got thrown into precipitated withdrawal. So definitely when you switch, you wanna start low. You don't want to go above 8 milligrams in the beginning.
Yeah, I when I did it before, once I started, I think I did like 4 milligrams, waited like 3-4 hours, another 4, and kind of did it like that. And then, you know what I mean? Oh, but yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, bro. Like I said, I buy it on the street, so I don't even know what I'm getting, because I know the girl I buy it from, she doesn't even realize. Now she says she doesn't take any methadone herself, which is a lie, because she has to take a little bit. But I'm like, yo, bitch, if I'm buying, like, you get, because she only has to go to the fucking clinic like every, like, I want to say every 2 or 3 weeks, because she hasn't pissed dirty in like 2 years. Is that possible?
For what?
For like, she goes to the clinic now for 2.5 years or so. She hasn't pissed dirty for anything in 2 years. So,
but she's doing dope still?
No, she doesn't. No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm saying is it possible she only has to go to the clinic every 2-3 weeks? It is, right? Because like
there's some people that only go once a month to the clinic once you pass enough drug tests.
So I think she either goes every 2 weeks or every month. But I'm trying to break down the math to her, and she's not getting it. I'm like, yo, I know you're.
Well, hey, bro, my battery's about to die, bro, and also my girlfriend's about to be.
All right, no
worries. I gotta cut it short, man. But you want to leave any social media, anything for anyone? It sounds like you don't have any social media.
I don't, man. But Joe, can you do me a favor and put your email in the chat? Do you mind? And I'll email you some.
Yeah, I'll do it right now. Hold on. Where's the chat?
I don't know, guys. If I'm planning to make I'm just waiting for my boss to approve it. but I'm probably going to make a YouTube channel. If you ever heard of Victory Outdoor Services channel, he's in Wisconsin. He blew the fuck up, bro, just filming their daily work day. So I think
nice.
That, yeah, because I think people love seeing like the heavy equipment in use and shit like that. I don't know. Mixed with like the guys bullshitting. So that's my plan, but my boss has to approve it for safety. So anyway, are you putting your
it's lukegtv22@gmail.com.
I'm just gonna like type it. Luke GTV
22@gmail.com.
All right, bro. All right, man. I really appreciate it. It is good now and then just to like ramble on. I know I rambled on forever, but
nah, man, it's good. It's good. I might clip it up and keep the I usually always I'll keep the live up, but I'll probably chop some parts out, keep some parts in.
Real quick, in the future, if you want to like do like an interview of some kind, just to like clip it up, like ask about this, I don't fucking mind at all. Anything if it can help people. Like describing the methadone, all that shit, like how disgusting meth is,
Yeah. Well, shit, just shoot me an email, brother. Hello? And I think he's gone. Right? Rodney King? Are you still there? Where is Rodney? Where is Rodney? All right, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell for all so you can see all my dope content. And also, guys, we got a membership package. It's only $4.99. You get members-only videos. I've been posting videos every day that only the members can see. You get cool emojis. We got the Reese emoji, the Ryan Leone, the AA symbol, and the syringe. We're going to be doing votes on what kind of emojis you want. I'm going to take input from the members. So just realize, you guys, that is available now. And yeah, hopefully I'm going to come out with some new story time videos this week, but keep rocking, you guys. Be safe, stay free, stay blessed, all that good stuff. And I'm out. My name's Luke.